Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are having a great day, a great time, like it's your birthday. I spoke about it in my previous video. So, one of the most wanted or most mentioned subjects in creating one's reality is finding your purpose. And well, people start usually with, how do I get a perfect job for me? And then we go back trying to discover what it is that you really want to do in your life, and even further back, what is your purpose? When is it too late to start looking? Is that 30? Is that 35? Is that 45? Is that like what, 50? When is it too late? Never. Never. There are so many examples. You can Google them. When people started, doing what they always wanted at age 60, 65, and even later. I love Gary Vee. He talks a lot about this time component in this modern entrepreneurial world, like you should have it all figured out by age, 20? It is already a big step if you decided to discover, if you got lost along the way and you came to a point and, realizing that what you are doing is not fulfilling, and you decided, I don't want to waste my life. I don't want to waste my time. I remember, I can tell you from my personal experience, I worked for almost 15 years in corporate. I loved it until I didn't. I always kind of knew this is not something that I would be doing long term, because I always had somewhere engraved that I would want to help people. When I was a kid, I was certain I would be a basketball coach, because I grew up in a basketball gym around basketball players, and that was like, that's what I will be when I grow up. And then I got completely lost. Didn't think about my purpose until early 30s, when I hit the rock bottom in all the areas of my life. And then as I started reinventing myself from the ground zero, that's also how but it all came like in a natural way. Nothing was like forced. I just remember I couldn't understand the people that I worked with. They would be saying, they worked there already for like 20, 25 years. And they hated every day they had to go to work. They hated the environment, the work that they did, the company. And I just couldn't understand, why would you then go there? Why? Why would you do that to yourself? I just couldn't. But of course, at that time I couldn't understand. I don't understand even today. But at least here in this area, I know it's different mentality and mindset in different countries, but here in ex-Yugoslavia, it was like you start your career somewhere and you stay there until you retire. So people grew up with that mentality, and it was in nobody's mind that, if you're not satisfied, if you're not happy, change what you do. That was like not an option. For me, I just couldn't understand why why would you do that? And even if my friends would started, you know, like complaining about their, I don't know, work environment, their bosses, I would always say, well, change it. And I would always get back, yeah, like it's that easy. I spoke in previous video about self-concept. So everything that you believe about yourself shows up in your life. Okay, so yeah, it's never too late. So to me it came naturally. I just remember then one day waking up and having that feeling in my gut, GPS so strongly telling me, you're so off the road. And I remember telling my husband, like in the bed, literally, that's how it happened. It was 5 a.m. and I was like, oh my God, it happened. And he got up and he was like, you know, checking. He thought like I was, I don't know, bleeding or something. And I was like, oh, I have this feeling in my stomach. I think I hate my job. And he was like, are you serious? But yeah, that day I didn't do anything because, you know, maybe it was like the full moon or something. And I think it was like within 2 or 3 days, I quit my job. I remember them offering me like salary I could only dreamed of at that time. But I was so calm in saying them, no, I just don't feel it. And nobody could understand because I never complained about my coworkers, about my boss, about my job, because I loved it, I really did, until I didn't. And at that point, I had no clear picture, clear vision where my path will take me. But I was working on changing my self-concept, and that's how more and more my life purpose starting, you know, like floating up on the surface. Many times with my clients, this is the case on which we work. They hate their job. Maybe some of them stay because, you know, the paycheck is like good and safe and all that stuff. Some of them because they really don't think they have an option, or who would hire them for something completely different because they don't have experience. These are all limiting beliefs. This is all you spending your thoughts, your beliefs, your time. When you will, if you haven't, and if this is something you want to change, you will find the answer within yourself. Yes, you can start. What do you like doing? What do you enjoy doing? But so many times I hear people telling me, Sandra, I don't have time for anything else. Because when I get home, you know, kids have all the after school activities, and then we get home late, we, you know, eat dinner, and then it's time to bed. And tomorrow repeat the same process. That's why it is essential for you to start taking time for yourself. Start with 5, go to 10, 15, 20 minutes, being in a relaxed state. If you call it meditation, if you call it relaxation, if you need at the beginning, you know, to be something guided that you listen to, I have it. One of my videos is guided meditation. One is just music. The one that it's like soothing to me. You should like calm your thoughts so that you can even hear yourself if you don't know. But if you are already, you know, you have a hobby, you like doing something, that's probably where you should go. I have so many examples. I remember one executive director. Well, actually, she was the co-owner of the company, and she told me, Sandra, I really want to have like a flower shop. And it was funny because, you know, she was like this high achieving executive, and she said, what am I gonna do? How do I do that? Well, you know, she could afford it, like financially, she could afford it actually, but you know, she was thinking, what are people gonna say? And I just thought, imagine how would you feel having that flower shop? And also imagine what kind of example do you set for your children? Yeah, my mom had everything and she decided to chase her dream. And it took her some time, you know, to change her limiting beliefs. But yeah, it's been now a few years that she owns a flower shop. She is super happy. When I see her, she's like a flower. She's blossoming, you know, so don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to change it. I always say, imagine you have, I don't know, 6 months, 1 year. Would you go and try it? And try and, I don't know, have a dog hotel, if that's something you always wanted? Yeah, you would, because you would know your days are counted. But guess what? You don't know. Maybe, I mean, they are. You just don't know how long. So make them worth to you. Just to you. So, you know, that you can say, look, if I die tomorrow, at least, you know, I did what I always wanted for a month, a year, 2 years, 5 years, 15 years. Life expectancy is really long, guys. It's 83 and something for women and 82 for men. This is information probably a year or two old, but you know, and if I'm in 40s, I have half of life in front of me. I really want to spend it the way I want to spend it. Okay, I have two like really cool examples from Neville Goddard from his books. From the book The Law and the Promise. There was a man who felt that he had no purpose in life. He was doing a job that he didn't enjoy, and he felt like he was just going through the motions. One day he came to me and asked me for advice on how to find his purpose. I told him that he needed to imagine himself doing work that he loved and that aligned with his true purpose. I advised him to persist in that assumption until it became reality. At first, the man found it difficult to imagine himself doing work that he loved. He had always believed that he was stuck in his current job and that he had no other options. But with practice and persistence, he began to imagine himself as a successful artist doing work that he loved and that brought him fulfillment. Over time, the man's imagination became so vivid. Remember, I also said, in my case, over time, if at the beginning you have no clue, just persist. Just persist in the assumption that you are living your purpose. And the picture will become clearer and clearer. Over time, the man's imagination became so vivid that he began to feel as if he were already living the life he wanted. He started then taking steps toward making his dream a reality, and eventually he found a new job that aligned with his passion for art. He even started selling his artwork and became successful, finding a sense of purpose and fulfillment in his life. And there's another example from At Your Command. I once met a man who was pursuing a career in the law, but he was unhappy and unfulfilled. He had deep desire to become a writer, but he believed that he didn't have the talent or resources to succeed. I advised him to imagine himself as a successful writer and to persist in that assumption until it became his reality. At first, he found it difficult to believe that he could become a successful writer. But with practice and persistence, he began to imagine himself as a published author with his books selling all over the world. As he persisted in this assumption, he began to take actions that aligned with his desire to become a writer. Eventually, he started writing every day, and he sought out opportunities to get his work published. Eventually, he did become a successful writer, finding a sense of purpose and fulfillment in his life. I know so many cases like this from my personal experience working with people, and that's why I really wish you to take steps, take action, but not outer action, inner action. Calm your mind so that you can hear yourself. Your GPS will tell you, is this the right way to go and to pursue? Please share your questions, your stories, anything you have on this subject. It is a broad subject. We can make many videos together on this subject, so give me your feedback and we can explore it together even more in the future videos. Enjoy your day, find your purpose, and see you in next video. Bye.